And as we continue to track this system, charging its way across the northern Gulf Coast, we got that flood watch issued for much of southern Louisiana, New Orleans, in the middle of all this. And it's where we find our very own Robert Ray, who's been tracking some of the action close by. And Robert, we were watching the camera. There was a shelf cloud right over New Orleans. You had some lightning flashes too, but these are isolated downpours. Not everybody gets the heavy rain.
Yeah, Ian, good afternoon. Indeed, isolated. And we just went through that in the past hour where we had rain come down, heard some booms up there in the atmosphere. But now it is dried up and people are out and about here on Bourbon Street in the French Quarter. But look, if we look at this video from up in the atmosphere, and some of those visuals you're looking at are from yesterday on the approach from east to west coming across Lake Pontchartrain, and you see just all of that juicy atmosphere trying to come together. And then the rain fell last night here in New Orleans and other areas. Flood watch still going on. But the reality of this system, Invest 93L, when it began its origins out in the Atlantic, it crossed the peninsula of Florida. We were in Orlando covering all of that. And had it gone more south and spent more time over those warm waters in the Gulf of Mexico, rather America, now Gulf of America, then what we potentially could have seen is a tropical depression or even a tropical storm form. Instead, Invest 93L decided to hug the coastline, and that just really wasn't conducive to a strengthening situation. So a lot of areas will get multiple inches of rain. Some have already gotten that. And we'll have to continue to monitor this in New Orleans, Baton Rouge, other pockets on the coastline here in the northern Gulf. But, it's interesting. I talked to Jefferson Parish president this morning about just kind of what New Orleans has been up against in the past few years, and especially this year. I hope it's not indicative as to what the peak hurricane season is going to lead to, but this is what she told me.
I have seen extreme weather patterns just in this past couple of years. We don't get tornadoes generally. We say we live in hurricanes, we don't get tornadoes. We got tornadoes. We live with the alligators. We had snow this year. We had 11 inches of snow in our community where that was an emergency for us. This is extreme weather patterns. We had drought a couple years ago, which threatened our entire drinking water supply, right, with saltwater intrusion. So the patterns are changing quickly. It's hard to try to be prepared for these major changes that are just happening, within the past 5 years.
And they are always in prep mode and ready mode here in New Orleans and southern Louisiana. One of the biggest concerns yesterday for officials, and the mayor of New Orleans came out, and director of public works talking about the pumps and how the pumps would fare. So far, so good. But that's because we haven't had a system that has stalled over this area, which, by the way, New Orleans sits in a bowl surrounded by so many bodies of water. Pontchartrain, the swamps, the Gulf of Mexico to the south, the mighty Mississippi, and other tributaries and bodies of water. So they're always ready, Ian, for sure. Light rain sort of falling still, but nothing significant. We expect that to come in and out throughout the day and into the evening. Ian?
Robert, I had just finally forgotten about that wild snow. I pulled up the climate data. Central Park had 12.9 inches of snow last season, and they had just about that where you are, and they've been staring down tropical potential. So it has been a funky run there, and we know you're going to be watching out for some of those scattered storms. We're going to be checking back with you in a little bit. Robert, thank you.